Hi, this is Deborah Atkinson, the author of You Still Got It, Girl, and this is all about spring training. This is the time of year when typically we get outside, we try to get outside for a little too long in the first couple of times out, especially if you live in the northern hemisphere, because it feels great to be outside, not on a treadmill, not walking indoors. But shin splints often come up because we've been overzealous. We get outside after a winter of walking on a flat treadmill, forgetting to put it on incline, and then we go outside and we have to deal with terrain and things happen. And a lot of times people suspect they have shin splints, but I have good news and bad news. It may not be shin splints, even though it still may be kind of sore. So here's how to know if it's shin splints or not, or one way. When you put your hand on the front of your shin, lift your toe up, you can feel that muscle, and it's called the anterior or front tibialis. There's not a lot there compared to putting your hand in the back, where you can feel your calf muscle and that meat there that's always propelling you forward. The imbalance itself in the amount of muscle in the front to the back tells you there's a potential for a problem because you're not in total balance forward, back, right, left. But what happens when you try to go faster outside or on the treadmill, or you try to go uphill outside or on the treadmill, or both at the same time, what you're doing is more rapidly pulling your toe up so that you don't catch your toe and trip. It's over and over and over, and what's doing that is that anterior tibialis. It pulls up, pulls up, pulls up, and it gets fatigued. So what you may be feeling, if you just palpate or push, feel around on the muscle like you're massaging it, if that feels tender, chances are you have the lesser of two evils. You have sore muscles, but you don't have shin splints. Now, if you put your hand on the bone itself, you palpate that, and it's tender, then you may indeed have the start of shin splints. So here's how you deal with it. If you really think it's shin splints, you need to rest and stay off of what caused it in the first place. I would ice it and continue to rest and ice until you're at least 2 weeks pain-free, because a shin splint is basically the start of a stress fracture. And if you do more of what caused it, you're going to make it worse. So it needs time to heal while you're off of it. You can still do a lot of cardiovascular activities, just not weight bearing. You can bike, you can swim, you can elliptical, and a number of other ways that you can get your heart rate up and still stay fit while you're letting that heal, and then start back much more gradually with a lot of stretching. And I'm going to demonstrate a way to do a straight leg stretch and then a bent knee stretch. So you stretch both the big and the muscle underneath, that major calf muscle, to keep the balance there. And then I'm going to show you how to stretch with your toe dragging on the floor. And it's probably most comfortable to do that with a pair of shoes on. I just happen to be bare feet, so I could actually show you without socks the shin muscle against the calf muscle and what that looks like. So if you're curious about which it is and how to avoid that stress, watch your terrain. Don't try to go faster and uphill all at the same time. So some days go on a flat. When you incorporate a lot of hills, you may notice, I've got more soreness in the front of that shin. But as you get in better condition, you will also get stronger, and that will pass. So it's not there to stay. So stretch before, stretch after, and pay attention to making sure whether it is really muscle soreness or it's shin splints. And you may have a false alarm. Hope so, and I'll see you out there. So here I'm just pointing out to you the bone and the muscle. So the muscle lies along the side of that shin bone, and it's not very apparent, not like the calf, where you can obviously see the difference in where that muscle and muscle tone is. But there is some, and the more you walk, the more you'll develop that anterior tibialis. So first I show you the calf stretch. So notice the heel is down and the knee is straight. And that's stretching the big calf muscle, the gastroc. And then you need to bend the knee, but notice the heel still stays down. So you're controlling your pelvis a little bit, making sure that that's tipping forward with your tailbone, so you're not straining the lower back. And then just to demonstrate on the other side, so you've got a straight knee. You want to hold that for 15 to 30 seconds, and then do the bent knee. So I'm not holding it that long for demonstration purposes. And then here's the one we often leave out. So this is the dragging the toes, stretching that top of the shin. And here it is on the other side, so you can see it. And I'll admit, in bare feet, it's not very comfortable. So keep your shoes on to do this one, and you post-run, post-exercise. That'll make more sense. Now, here's an exercise to strengthen those shins. Now, this isn't one we typically think about either, but there's not much muscle there. So repeatedly toe up, toe up, toe up, and you'll find that you get fatigued there a lot sooner than you think you might. It looks like an easy thing, but if you repeatedly really effort, you'll reach fatigue.